Think gadget reviews, news, and all about it.
Samsung Galaxy S7 review. 1. The company that stuck a huge 10x zoom lens on the Galaxy S4, made 7-gear wearables in less than 3 years and paid Jay-Z $5 million so that it could release his album for free? Well, those days are over. The Galaxy S7 heralds the dawn of a new era. Welcome to the age of sensible Samsung, a smartphone maker of dependable excellence. Its latest flagship handset is the technological equivalent of a Steven Spielberg movie. The whole thing just oozes with quality. Granted, this is not the most exciting gadget of 2016. Compared to LG's G5, the Galaxy S7 barely registers on the Richter scale of smartphone innovation. It looks almost identical to last year's Galaxy S6, but has a better camera and has brought back the Galaxy S5's water resistance and microSD card slot. 2. Samsung Galaxy S7 review, screen. Just as the Galaxy S7 is Samsung's first ever flagship to retain the same design as the phone it's replacing, it also features what's basically the same screen tech as before. That means you get a 5.1-inch AMOLED display with a whopping great resolution of 1440 by 2560 pixels. The upshot? Even when holding this thing to your eye, clockwork orange style, you're still not going to spot any of its 577 pixels per inch. Despite effectively being a year old, the S7's display still offers more pictorial detail than both the iPhone 6's and LG G5. Given it's the only smartphone with a dedicated virtual reality platform to support, the Gear VR, you'd expect as much. Some more nerdy corners of the internet might wish the S7 had a 4K display to offer an even more immersive VR experience, but they're wrong. As Sony's Xperia Z5 Premium proved, there's simply not enough content to justify the resultant drain on battery life. 3. Samsung Galaxy S7 review, always on display. So what's actually new with the S7? Well, its screen does have one trick that's fairly useful for anyone who spends their days chained to an office desk, namely that it's always on. Yes, the S7's display will show you the date, time, your S7's remaining battery life and some notifications, even when you press the power button to lock it. If you don't own a watch and like the idea of having a nice, big clock to stare at, it's a gentle boon. No, it won't change the way you use your phone overall, but you'd be amazed at how quickly it'll become essential. Unless you own a watch, then it's almost pointless. You see, this always-on tech only works with Samsung's apps. 4. Samsung Galaxy S7 review, performance. As you'd expect, the Galaxy S7 also comes rocking an updated processor. In the UK, we're getting the version with Samsung's own Exynos 8890 and 4GB RAM. That's an update on last year's Exynos 7420 and 3GB RAM combo, and a different arrangement from the Snapdragon 820 processor and 4GB RAM that's going to be available in the US and China. Having not tested the different version of the S7, I can't tell you if there's a difference between the two chips. What I can say is that the Exynos 8890 is fast. I'm talking make the Kessil run in less than 12 parsecs fast. Now I tend to spend my commutes firing off a string of messages across Gmail, Slack, and WhatsApp, like some kind of Poundland Gordon gecko. 5. Samsung Galaxy S7 review, battery life. Even when you're really pushing this Galaxy to the furthest reaches of its capabilities, its battery life won't evaporate. A 30-minute Asphalt 8 session ate up a mere 10% of battery and I still managed to go the whole day without recharging. Indeed, I regularly got over a day's worth of usage from the S7. I could wake up one morning, rip it out of the charger and not have to plug again in until lunchtime the next day. This equates to about 28 hours of performance. Now, as I've already explained, I'm probably a power user of most mobiles. 6. Samsung Galaxy S7 Review, Software. So the story of the S7 so far is one of genteel improvements. The kind of upgrades that raise the bar for Samsung's Galaxy range without wowing you on first impressions. Essentially, Samsung has ceded to Apple's tick-tock cycle of mobile upgrades where a manufacturer alternates its attention between design and internals on a yearly basis. Rather than chasing a fad or creating its own, the S7's focus is on ease of use. Straight out of the box, it's a dream to handle, and a lot of that's down to its flexibility. If you don't like Samsung's software, want more control over the way you take photos or how your screen works, then that's okay. Most significantly, you're given ability to shun the bulk of Samsung's own TouchWiz interface as soon as you boot the S7 up. So I did and plumped for the Google Now launcher instead. 7. Samsung Galaxy S7 Review, Flawed Genius. Compared to my usual iPhone 6s, there is one software area where the Galaxy S7 is sorely lacking. And no, it's not the fact that Android's apps are still not as good as their iOS cousins. It's the absence of Samsung Pay in the UK. Samsung has guaranteed that the service will be coming to the UK at some point in 2016, but right now we have no idea when that might be. It's a shame, because hand on heart, Apple Pay is the thing I most appreciate about the iPhone. It almost removes the need to carry cash around with you and scramble around for your wallet when it's wedged at the bottom of a backpack. That I can't use Samsung Pay with the S7 is my biggest annoyance with it, and feels like a real shortcoming for such a practically minded smartphone. 8. Samsung Galaxy S7 Review, Camera. Or you could stick with using its camera on dry land, like a normal person. And you'll have a great time doing so. More than any other feature of the S7, Samsung has put a lot of work into its rear-facing snapper, with the aim of taking superior low-light photos. Some of it is a little technical, so bear with me and I'll do my best to explain. Most confusingly, the S7's primary camera's sensor actually has fewer megapixels than last year's S6, that's 12 MP instead of 16 MP. This is not actually a problem, though, as Samsung has simultaneously made those remaining megapixels bigger in size, and thus able to capture more light than before. More light captured means superior nighttime snaps. 9. Samsung Galaxy S7 Review, but what about the Edge? If the S7 retains one hangover from the halcyon days of crazy Samsung, it's that there's two of it, the standard Galaxy S7 and the Galaxy S7 Edge. The S7 Edge has a bigger 5.5-inch display, a higher capacity battery, and that's about it. Bar a curved touchscreen, but we'll talk about that in a second. Before we do though, let's mention pricing, because it's important here. If you have a spare wad of cash to hand, then the 32GB Galaxy S7 costs £570 SIM-free. That's only £70 less than the entry-level Galaxy S7 Edge, which makes paying the premium seem pretty reasonable. 10. Samsung Galaxy S7 Review, Verdict. You see, it's very hard to find fault with the Galaxy S7. If this is a phone that sees Samsung resting on its laurels, then they must feel pretty comfortable right now. Where past Galaxy S handsets have felt like a checklist of enviable specs, this device is a complete all-rounder. More than offering you a tremendous processor or bumper battery, the Galaxy S7 focuses on how these components tally together and whether you're going to enjoy using them. Holding back on any grandstanding new features has allowed Samsung to make improvements on a smaller scale. It's focused on the aspects of smartphones that are most familiar to you. The ones where even a subtle change makes a noticeable difference, such as a camera that won't let you down in low light or water resistance that'll save you a trip back to the phone store.